Hey, and welcome back to Agile Driven Impact.
Hello, everyone.
Today, we're having a quick pit stop. We are going to talk about creating focus and making short-term goals. And, the reality is that we've got huge, huge projects. They take a long time. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. They can be completely overwhelming. And if we're not careful, momentum just, it slows to a crawl, right?
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? How are we going to stop that from happening, or how are we going to help people if they find it happening?
Setting short-term goals is a really powerful thing. Break the journey that you're taking down into smaller steps so that you can measure your progress towards these shorter-term milestones or goals.
Okay. And so short-term goals, we're thinking then something time boxed, something
Yeah,
that's a consistent period of time that we're
right.
working in.
Right. Pick an amount of time, a month or less, to say we want to accomplish this together as a team by this time box
Okay,
and
but
measure if you do it or not.
and should it like always be the same period of time, or doesn't it matter? We just want something short term. Like my team, one of them always uses a one
Yeah, I
week
would
way to
fix
think
it.
about it.
I would try to fix it because then you can think about your capacity to do the work, right? So you
Okay.
can say, okay, this is similar to a previous goal we had. We finished that goal in 2 weeks, so let's also use 2 weeks. Continuously try to use the same amount of time.
So like heartbeat style,
Yep.
consistent. All
hmm
right,
hmm
awesome.
hmm
So if that's the case, then, and we've got that time box of some number of weeks,
Right.
what do we do?
Well, you don't want it to just be a list of tasks, right? So don't just say, okay, everybody write down what you're going to finish in the next 2 weeks. You want to create a single clear statement. This is why this work matters to the customer or the mission that your organization has. So connect it to the why and make it so that people will work together towards it.
So you say not to have a list of all of the tasks, and it brings to mind for me a really big project that we actually have as a case study at the Agile and Nonprofits website, and it's with the Lowell Observatory.
Hmm.
Alice Ferris, co-founder of Goalbusters Consulting, shares this story, and they had to raise $20 million,
Well,
right?
it's a lot.
But not like in one day. They had a few years.
Hmm.
And Alice was like, how do I help the team always
Oh,
move
yeah.
forward?
Hmm.
Because 20 million, a little stressful on day one, little stressful on day 100, a little stressful on day 361. And what Alice decided to do was to set a 2 week short-term goal cadence
Hmm.
so that the team was constantly thinking, not even in the dollars they were raising, but in what the work could be.
Right.
And well, I don't want to give away the whole story. They raised the money in less time than
Oh,
what they've been given.
that's good.
And
And they can
yeah,
probably measure their progress along the way since they have these smaller time boxes that they're
and
working
like
on.
celebrate mini success along the way too,
Yeah.
right? Not just that big final thing.
Yeah, and we like to use driving analogies in this because we're agile driven impact, right? So when you're thinking about this, like it's like a goal for a pit stop, right? So you need to fix the front suspension and the tires or something quick that you need to do that brings some unifying focus to the team's potentially disparate things that they're doing. So that brings them together. Yes, you're the tire changer, yes, you're the fueler, but the goal is to get this car back out on the track. And that connects it to the mission and the vision and where you're headed.
And so, one of the things then that really helps people when they're setting these short-term goals, it is a little bit of Alice's story. It's part of what I've seen. I think we've talked about it before. The idea that on this short-term goal focus, somehow you've got to check in regularly within the
Right.
1 week or within the 2 weeks. And regardless of what you call it, daily scrum, daily check-in,
Yeah,
daily
whatever.
huddle,
Doesn't
right?
matter.
Like doesn't matter. But that short time boxed piece each workday can also help with progress towards these short-term
Yeah,
goals.
communication is everything, and it creates disciplined communication. So, for example, it's a rapid diagnostic, not a status report. So, each person is sharing what they did for the goal, not everything they worked on. What am I doing now, today, for the goal? And is there anything blocking me or the team from the goal? So this way, everyone is talking about that unifying goal that brings them all together.
Mm. And of those three questions, I'm thinking of Dr. Sutherland, the co-creator of Scrum, and what he says is if you don't have a lot of time to get through all those, or you feel like you're rushed, what's like the most important thing? He always says that it's what's blocking us from moving that high priority
Right,
item, what's blocking us from getting that goal. That's his favorite of the
right,
three, right?
right.
So if you feel in any way pinched, they're all nice questions.
Yeah, and
That's a
focus
great one.
on what's blocking us, not is there anything blocking us, because the is there anything blocking us actually is a hard question to answer with, yes, there's things blocking us. You're better off to say, what is blocking us? Because something is probably blocking you every day. There's something in your way.
Gosh, that's optimistic, but you're realistic.
Yeah,
And you know what? When we find those impediments, though, we might not be able to solve it or like remove that blocker in 15 minutes. So
right.
we might have to like find another time to dig in as a team, fix it so that we get back on track towards that short-term goal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's like having the check engine light on your car or whatever, right? You're not going to pull over right then and fix it right that second, but it tells you, hey, I need to go offline and figure out what's going on here and figure out what other team members you might need to work with to get that done or people outside the team, right? So in closing, there's really two major steps for success here. Set a single clear goal for a fixed time box and meet briefly every day to protect that goal, to make sure that that goal isn't in jeopardy.
Yeah, there we have it. Two simple
There's your pit
things,
stop.
right? Well, thanks for joining us for this quick pit stop to talk about short-term goals. We are excited to hear what that looks like for you. So let us know what's working, what questions do you have about it. We look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, please don't forget that we are so grateful for our awesome sponsors, Agile in Nonprofits. They're helping nonprofits to create greater impact in a sustainable way, even faster. Thanks for joining us. Keep
Thanks.
driving that impact.
See you next time.